There's definitely a difference between cheap and frugal. Right, on Friday, we tried to help a Bert Show listener, Erica, out with her new boyfriend, who she said is like notoriously cheap. But they were going out with some friends, and she was asking him to like put it on pause for one night. But I'm super curious, before we even get into the follow-up, what are the really great examples of your parents being super, super cheap? Like, I knew one family that the dad used to put like water in the ketchup.
Ooh, to extend it? I mean, I do that with my shampoo, but not with the ketchup.
With the ketchup, to extend the ketchup, because they were just so cheap. And they weren't like a poor family, but he was just cheap. There are some people that do this really, really well. 1-855-BERT Show, okay? In this case, it might have been frugal.
Yeah, so he is extremely frugal. We might get to the point of calling him cheap, depending on how this turned out. They've only been dating a couple of months, and she hit us up because she wanted to convince him to pick up the tab for this dinner that he was coming on for she and her girlfriend, so he can meet all of her girlfriends. There was going to be 10 people total, him, her, and 8 of her friends. So when we found that out and they were going to an upscale restaurant, we're like, okay, listen, you're going to give this man a heart attack if he has to pick up the entire bill. So we tried to negotiate and be like, maybe he can just pick up the first round of drinks or get a bottle or two of Prosecco for the table, whatever. And we started going back and forth with him, and he was adamant and started accusing her of mismanaging money and throwing money away. And why would she have to pay for her friends? Like, why is she paying them to hang out with her? It went sour.
We got so caught up in focusing on him, though, that I think we kind of like didn't really focus on the initial ask, which I thought was
we did
really off-putting.
No, we all
just for a little bit, though.
No, I mean because we had such a hard time. It took us forever to get that first text out because none of us wanted to ask him to do it because we thought it was inappropriate to ask.
She wanted like him to pay for 8 or 9 of her friends or something like that, and they've only been dating for 2.5 months.
At a really nice restaurant at that.
At a really nice restaurant.
No, Cassie nailed it as soon as we hung up the phone.
Right, it was $50,000.
No. they were both driving us crazy.
Yeah, oh yeah, both of them. Like, the ask for your significant other to pay for that many friends out the gate, like a round of drinks, sure, a bottle of champagne, sure, but that much money, and then they're just polar opposites, but both of them were so extreme, it was hard to get behind either of them.
All right, so let's get to the email update, and then I'm going to get to some of your calls because, wow, some of them, you guys come from really cheap families. Really cheap. All right, the update.
First, I wanted to sincerely thank you for taking so much time to help me text my boyfriend.
You're welcome.
However, it turned out to be helpful in ways that I could have never predicted. It helped me to see that he is not the right guy for me at all. It helped me to realize that he will always value money more than people. After our texting conversation, I did a lot of thinking, and that evening I asked him to come over. I was honest with him about all of my concerns and how it made me feel that he couldn't put his frugality aside for one night in order to do something that felt important to me. He absolutely could not understand my point of view. So I told him once again how important it was, and then just waited to see how he would handle it when we went out. Well, we all went out and ordered our first round of drinks at the bar. When it came time to close the tab, he did nothing. We both made eye contact, and he knew that what I wanted him to do, and he just refused. So we made it through dinner and went home, and once we got back to his place, I wasted no time and broke up with him. He didn't try to fight me. He just said, okay. So obviously he is not the right guy and doesn't value me at all. Now I just need to find someone who does. I only hate that I even introduced him to my friends.
So he was thinking the same thing at the end of the night. Like, this is not somebody that is financially responsible and we just don't mesh. All right, Christy, give us a really great example of cheapness in your family.
Yeah, so my abuela, I would go to Miami and stay with her for when schools are out. So she would take me and my cousins on a special trip to McDonald's. We'd have to share a kid meal. But then she told us to take the ketchup to-go packets. So we'd go back to her house, and we would spend hours, filling it up. Her ketchup bottle at home, so when her friends came over for dinner that night, we had ketchup.
Oh, wow. That's excellent.
The fact, like, what's next? Like, we all have those additional packets, but the fact that you had to sit there and open each individual packet and squeeze it back in the bottle is next level.
Fun family activity.
The fact that they had to share a kid's meal at McDonald's. They didn't even each get their own. I mean, doesn't your abuela know you get double the ketchup packets if you do that?
Here is Anna. Good morning, Anna. Cheapest person in your family.
My husband, if the kids leave cereal milk behind when they're done with their cereal, he measures it and charges them.
Shut up. How much?
Well, he does it, pro rata. He figures out how much we pay for our organic milk and charges them based on what they left behind.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate
I gotta be honest with you. I don't hate it.
You can blow through some milk if you're not careful. Like, we'll be like, I just bought milk yesterday. Where did it go? Oh, we had 3 bowls of cereal, and we're going through a whole gallon. I don't like this idea.
I don't hate it.
Oh, I loathe this.
That's horrible. When my dad was growing up, my grandma wouldn't let him turn up the TV, the volume, because she thought it cost more.
Oh,
Poor thing.
Good morning, Nikki. Okay, I think you're going to be my closer call.
Yeah, it wasn't me. My mom went in her friend's bathroom and her husband apparently rinsed out and reused all the condoms.
What?
Whoa.
No.
Ain't no way.
It was the most shocking thing, yeah.
That must have been a joke.
They had 3 kids. I think maybe at that point the wife said enough is enough. But yeah, she said it was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, it ended up costing them a lot in the long run.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Can't beat that one. Thank you, Nikki.
Wow.
Yeah, that's-
Was not ready.
Appreciate you. It's a Bert Show.
The Bert Show.
So, first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get the Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.